Everybody, welcome back to Tech Shack. Once again, continuing to bring you unique, interesting stories from the Pakistan tech startup ecosystem. And today, we have Dr. Mohammad Ehsan Khan from Trade Foresight. Thank you for coming on the show, Dr. Khan.
Thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure connecting with you.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to learning more. So, as we do always, let's jump right in. What is Trade Foresight?
So for approximately 3 years back, I was having a conversation with some trade consultants, and I was looking at some tools and technologies and data that was available. And I asked them, have you guys made this data available for SMEs and traders? They said, no, generally we give it to the government agency, and that's about it. I thought that this data is extremely useful for traders. So that's where the idea clicked, and we embarked upon that journey. We did some focus group with some traders, and I kept on asking this question again and again and again and again. Okay, guys, is this data useful for you? I said, yes, we want that. The confirmation that I got from them, it solidified the whole idea. So we embarked upon that journey, and we were able to release the first version of Trade Foresight almost 3 years back. So what is Trade Foresight really? What we do is we consolidate trade-related data from around the world. Whether it's qualitative measures or quantitative measures, data such as import and export, specific to a product about every country in the world. And then we sort of transform that data into useful measures that become very useful for traders in terms of their decision making.
Got it.
So, and while we were doing this first version, we got a call from the Saudi government. While having a conversation with them, they said, well, what we're trying to do is we're trying to move from an oil-based economy to a non-oil-based economy, which is their Vision 2030. And the solution that we have, it quite fits in what we are trying to achieve. And I said, okay, wonderful. And we were able to do our first white label deployment for the Saudi export almost 3 years back. And alhamdulillah, that portal is up and running for them. They're using it for their internal utilization, and there are almost 5,000 SMEs registered with them. Last year, when this COVID situation started, and our focus around those time was selling it to the government agencies and for them to then push it to the SMEs in their countries. Okay. Last year around COVID, we realized that why don't we become that entity itself that we give this data for SMEs? And in March, we changed our strategy, and in June, we launched our portal for SMEs across the world. In June 2020, we had 0 subscribers with us. And now, alhamdulillah, we have 11,000 traders who have registered with us, who are using our portal for their decision-making, for finding out their markets, for understanding what's going on in the trade world, and most importantly, connecting with their counterparts internationally. So I'll give you a very quick example.
Yeah, that'd be great.
A trader sitting in Pakistan, okay? And what he's doing is he wants to, he has a certain product that he wants to export. He said, I have rice and I want to export it globally. Tell me the potential markets that I have. Okay. So through our tool, he can find those markets, the existing markets, which means that these markets are those that Pakistan is currently exporting, which means that the trade routes are already there. So he does not have to worry about that. Right. Or he can find potential markets where Pakistan is currently not exporting, but the products are being exported to those markets. And I was having a conversation yesterday with a very thorough gentleman. He told me, our focus as an association, we only export to Europe and US only, and that's about it. Right. But we realized that African market is much more better for them using our tool. So that's what we give them. We tell them what are your best markets to export your product, and then we provide them connectivity with those traders in that market. So if you're an exporter of rice, you find you importers of that country. If you are an exporter of, let's say, gloves, we find you importers in those countries where this product is being imported right now. Okay. And the average rate as well, approximate rate at which it is being exported to that country. Not only that, we also give you the trade regulations to export that product in that country. So I, as a layman who was producing product X, or let's say being very specific, rice, husk brown rice in Pakistan, and I wanted to export that, I'll help you find the markets, I'll help you connect with the traders, I'll help you find the procedures to actually export, I'll help you find the financing institution from where you can get your LC open, you can get your financing help. I can connect with you authorities of those countries, And most recently, we are now getting data for logistic companies. So from one portal, you can do the entire trade execution, just one click of the button, and that's about it. You don't have to worry about the entire thing. One of the biggest challenges of traders is their counterparts, whether they are authentic or not. So what we did was we got into partnership with Dun & Bradstreet, the largest SME credibility agency in the world.
Sure.
And they have verified our entire database. So when you go to our portal, you see the blue ticks. Those are the ones which are verified traders, and the ones which are not ticked are unverified traders. So ideally, you should not be doing business with them unless and until they get this blue tick. Right. So that's the crux of it. The other angle to the portal is more aligned with the analysts and researchers. So they can use a portal to analyze different markets, to analyze different products, and to come up with policies that will help governments in terms of their trade policy making in the future. So that's the whole idea behind it. As a product, we are getting good traction, alhamdulillah. And 11,000 traders are not just Pakistani traders; they are traders from almost 25 countries around the world. So you have, and this is good for us because trade ecosystem will only exist if you are connecting one country with another country. Okay, so having traders from 24 countries enables these traders to do trade execution amongst themselves. So if I had 11,000 traders only from Pakistan, that would have been good for them. But when this ecosystem develops, when they start connecting with each other, that's the real value, and that's what we're trying to push in. One more angle that we're pushing in for agencies is around our data connectors. So if somebody, let's say a bank or a trade association or a trade institution or a researcher or a consulting firm wants to get access to trade-related data, instead of them going to 10 different agencies to get the data, they connect with our connector. We give them 60 plus KPIs that they can analyze and come up with reports, policies, etc., etc. So that's the crux of it.
Awesome. No, that's really interesting. I can definitely see the relevance, particularly in the markets that you're trying to cover with. Question though, what's the revenue model for Trade Foresight?
So there are three basic revenue models. Initially, our focus was only white label selling, which we are pushing in, but not really right now.
Okay.
There are two angles that we're really pushing in. Number one is getting the traders on board, and we have subscription fees, which is very, very low. Okay. Our objective basically was to get these traders on board. There are approximately, so if you look at the DNB database, there are 400 million SMEs and traders registered with them, 400 million.
Right.
Okay? So if you can get, I don't know, just 1% of the entire thing, you're talking about 4 million traders.
Fair enough.
And we have three packages. One of them is the Premium Plus, and the lowest one is the Standard package. In the Standard package, you get access to data, you get connectivity, you get a lot of these things. But in the Premium Plus package, what we do is, and that's a problem with a lot of traders internationally, because they want recognition. What we provide you is a DMD certification. We provide you with access to our trade consultants. So if you are trying to enter a particular market with a product, they will help you in analysis of that market. So there are different packages. So the Premium Plus package is around $1,000. The Premium package is $600, and the Standard package is $400. So that's our subscription model. So that's one area of revenue. The other revenue-making source for us are the data connectors. So data connectors are basically, if an agency or an association does not want to do a complete deployment of our Trade Foresight, they just connect with our data, they use the data, and they can push in that data on their portals. And alhamdulillah, we are in advanced conversation with 3 or 4 large organizations within Pakistan and even globally who are sort of finalizing our deal of data connectors. So alhamdulillah, we have got good traction on that as well.
Very good, very good. And so at present, you are actually revenue generating with 11.
Yes, No, for these 11,000 subscribers, they were, so when we launched it, it was all free, but now from July onwards, we are converting them into a paid revenue. So I'm now getting emails from these traders, because what we did was there was certain access point that we've closed for free. So people can still use some functionality for free. They can go and they can do some clicks here and there, which will give you some insights. But when you move into the next steps a little bit more deeper, then it's asked you for the payments. So now we're getting calls for that, and now we are like charging them. The way it's distributing is almost 300 or 400 people are now pushing in for getting paid as a paid membership.
Okay.
So our conversion rate is not really bad. I mean, it's happening. So like July to August, we have almost 400 people who are converting, and I'm hoping that by the year end, so by let's say June 2022, we will have a conversion rate of almost 17% of what we have right now. So almost 2,000 plus traders will be as paid subscribers of our portal.
Great, great. Very interesting, very insightful. I think the concept makes a lot of sense. I see what you're trying to solve for. Do you have any competitors right now?
So there are different competitors in different areas. So let's say our traders listing area, you can compete with a typical trade directory. Our marketplace, you can compete with Alibaba, let's say, which provides with the same thing. Our analysis tools that we have, you compete with ITC's, let's say, trade map. So there are, but there is no product that is combining the entire thing together. There is no product in the world, entire world, that combines it together. So the way we take a trader through the entire journey, for finding the market, finding the traders, connecting with them, allowing them to do B2B meetings on the portal itself, we don't have a competition in that area.
Okay, great. Well, as you know, Dr. Khan, we tend to keep these fairly short. My last question: what can the diaspora do to help?
So there are two angles to it. Number one is we are currently raising funds.
What's the raise amount you're looking for?
So we're doing a $1 million, $1.1 million seed round.
Okay.
And the objective of that is to get some technical gurus on board because as we progress, as it becomes complex, we need those team members to be on board. The second part of it is we are seeking what we are seeing is a lot of traction coming from the traders. And in order to support them, in order to give them real value out of it on a daily basis, we need to have a team in place who can allow them to connect with the global market in terms of guidance, in terms of support. So that's where we are right now. So that's one. The second angle around it is support from the government in order to help us get access to different trade agencies. So those are two angles really where we seek help from the outside. Alhamdulillah, till now we have funded the entire thing on our own. So we are in a good situation from that perspective.
Excellent. Well, look, this was really interesting. Really enjoyed having you on the show. Thank you. You're solving for a real and relevant challenge there. I like what you're doing using technology.
Thank
And
you.
I'm very intrigued by is the fact that you've got traders who are actually engaged in coming on board, which is fine. So, great.
Thank you so much, Farooq. Thank you so much. And I think progress for Pakistan in real sense will really happen when trade tech gets into the picture. And that's where we are right now, making sure that the Pakistani exporters or even importers can connect with the entire world in a much, much more effective way.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you very much again for being on the show. And to our audience, as you can see, continuing to bring you very unique, interesting stories, that just the depth and breadth of what we're doing from a technology standpoint in Pakistan is pretty amazing. And I think this is pretty cool. We're taking something core. We're a big exporter of a lot of commodities and trying to drive that to the next level. So please continue, like, share, subscribe our show. Send us referrals. We always appreciate that. And with that, I bid you Allah Hafiz.